Hello friends, this is Robert West. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to discuss the interview of Ghislaine Maxwell by Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche. That information was released just less than 24 hours ago. I wanted to go through it a little bit to make sure I understood what's going on before I brought you this video. Now I think I have. But before we get into it, I just want to thank all the new viewers to the YouTube channel. Really appreciate that. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. It's free of charge, doesn't cost anything. It helps the channel grow a little bit. Also, feel free to give us a like, comment, share, those kind of good things. Helps get the information out there. All right, let's get into this. So, people were wondering why, after a few years after Maxwell was convicted of trafficking, that the Trump administration decided to question her. Well, based on that testimony, I think it's very obvious why they're questioning her. They wanted to exonerate Donald Trump of any potential wrongdoing because of his association with Epstein and hanging out with the guy, partying with the guy, whatever. So, as I thought, Maxwell stated that she never saw Trump do anything inappropriate. He was always a gentleman. She respects him. Does this type of flattery remind you of something? It should. People who want something from Donald Trump must flatter his ego. Tell him how great he is. Tell him what a good guy he is. And all that good stuff. So, why did they release this on the same day that Congress got some of the Epstein files, but ones that my understanding is redacted? Well, another distraction. But it also gives Donald Trump some breathing room, at least temporarily. And that's what the point of this whole interview was. It wasn't to, and again, listen, if you're Maxwell, you're trying to get the Supreme Court to take up your appeal. Generally, they would not take up an appeal like this, but with this Supreme Court, as corrupt as they are, and when I say corrupt, I mean the 6 conservative justices. They're as corrupt as the day is long. Would it surprise me that they take her appeal up? No, it wouldn't surprise me. But I go back to this thing. This helps Trump. And Maxwell will lie or do anything she needs to do to get out of prison, because she will be serving a long sentence if she doesn't. Her argument about why she should have never been prosecuted, it's interesting. It's very interesting. But, well, let me go into it for a second so people understand what I'm talking about. So Epstein had an agreement, I believe it's 2007, that none of his co-conspirators would be prosecuted. Okay. However, all the ones that were considered co-conspirators at the time were named in that agreement. Ghislaine Maxwell was not named in that agreement. And that's why the government doesn't believe that she's entitled to basically that immunity. It's an interesting argument. And if I were her lawyer and that's what we had, I'd probably make it as well. So now she has decided that if she gives Trump what he wants, it's going to benefit her. Guess what? It's already benefited her. How so? She got moved to a lesser security prison and got more privileges, better food, less restriction, more freedom. And the follow-up to that was she's now is eligible for work release. I mean, she could be out in the community working every day or 5 days a week or whatever it might be. So she did get a benefit. But here's the thing. This now, what she said, this would lead me to believe Trump was going to either commute the sentence to time served or completely pardon her. And one, based on testimony that was in the criminal case, that would be a very bad idea, especially the pardoning part, because she was found guilty of participating in the abuse of these women. Their families are upset. And this is on brand for Donald. He doesn't care. He cares about he, himself, and that's about it. He wants to make sure that this doesn't come back on him. Now, another part, just to talk about the Epstein file release yesterday, was they released files with redactions. Not all of them, some of them. And the subpoenas were not for redacted files. I know me, along with many people in this country, want to see how many times Donald Trump's name comes up and what they're saying about him. I don't believe he's going to release that information. This is the scam they're going to do. So, and we know the Republicans will not sue to have it released and try to force the Department of Justice to release it, because they just go along with pretty much whatever Trump wants, at least for now. The only way they will do something more is if they believe they're going to lose their seat in Congress, and then maybe they would do something. And I say maybe. I mean, these people, between the incompetence and the idiocy, is unbelievable. I will call out Susan Collins, the senator from Maine. Okay? This lady is a moron. A moron. She goes, oh, back in the first impeachment, Trump learned his lesson. He's not going to do anything like this again. No. This is a 79-year-old man who's been behaving like this for pretty much his adult life from what's been reported. It's worked for him. Why would he change his behavior? But that's the kind of, and Lisa Murkowski screwed over many people to try to give Alaska a benefit in that last bill that Congress passed. This is the type of people they are. They don't care about America. Only thing they care about is getting elected one more time. And hopefully, they will not get elected one more time. They need to go. They're not helping America. They're not helping the people of their states. They're despicable people. They don't belong in serving the public because they don't serve the public. They serve themselves. It's like a restaurant that's self-serve. like a buffet. That's what they do. They serve themselves to put themselves in the best position possible. So Maxwell's Darkest Secrets, as in the description, is just a big freaking lie. You know, this lady spent years and years with Epstein. She was seen in multiple pictures with Trump at events. She even talked about Bill Clinton, and she said she never saw him do anything wrong. Never seen him on Epstein Island and all that stuff. But she did say she had dinner with him in either 16, 17, or 18. And when Clinton was questioned in some way, he said he didn't know anything about Epstein. It's kind of incredible that he's got a Secret Service detail. They do technically enforce the law. The Secret Service has a little bit different job. They have access to information, and he didn't know anything. This is like the Trump defense. I don't believe Bill Clinton one bit. You know, he was an okay president. I particularly didn't like him. I didn't like Republican any better, but I didn't like him. He had his own problems. And, you know, as what happened was he had the affair with the intern. I feel bad for Monica Lewinsky, but again, she was a young adult. She made her own decisions. And but it's a real bad look. It's a bad look for Democrats. It's a bad look for him. So, but that's what's going on with Maxwell. But stay tuned. When we have more information, we'll release it. I do believe she's going to get her sentence commuted, or she'll be pardoned. My best guess, maybe within 6 months. Maybe within 6 months. Hopefully this Epstein thing won't die down and the truth will eventually come out. Because nobody, and I mean nobody, would be stonewalling the way Trump is if there wasn't something really negative or inferred to be negative from his name in that Epstein file. All right, friends, thank you so much for watching. Hope you're having a great day. Again, please feel free to subscribe, comment, like, share. We'll see you in the next video.